YouTube, what's going on? Mr. Business back in here with another video, weekly update, and I'm gonna touch on a couple other things. But before we get into that, let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you can be anywhere else on YouTube. The fact that you chose to click on my channel, I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get into it. All right, let's do this weekly recap. So I finished out my week yesterday. Took my final load, dropped it off in Fort Pierce, Florida, and that completed my week. So I started my week with a load from Savannah, Georgia to Williamsburg, Virginia that carried through the weekend. So I was able to drop that on Monday, and that's perfect. I love having loads that carry me to the house that I can drop on Monday. So yeah, my next load was left out the house on Wednesday, went up to Martinsville, Virginia, and that load went right back down to Florida, and then to Lakeland, Florida. And I was looking for a load because I didn't have a third load, and on my way to Martinsville, actually, my DM called me, well, he didn't call me, he sent me a message over the little computer zone. He was like, hey, can you help me out with a load? And he was like, give me a call. So I didn't know what to expect. Seeing I hadn't picked up my Martinsville load yet, I was like, well, I know you're not trying to do nothing with this load or cancel it or anything. And if he was, they had better been paying higher than the load already booked. So I called him back, and he was like, hey, you going to Lakeland, Florida with the Martinsville load? And I was like, yeah. He was like, we got a broker load that's in Lakeland, Florida that needs to go to Fort Pierce. And he said, so can you grab that load? So I asked him how much he paid. He told me it pays $700, 7 plus, and then he was going to throw an extra $300 on top of that. So I was like, yeah, that'll work, So yeah, got to Lakeland, Florida, dropped that load. The load that he was talking about was in our drop yard, which was only about 20 minutes from where I dropped my Martinsville load. So I ended up spending the night at the drop yard, and yeah, it's the first time I had to cook on the truck in a while, which I need to be doing more of. So I picked up that load and took it to Fort Pierce. It was only like 125 miles. So overall, it was $1,000 to go 120 miles. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. And the weather was good yesterday. It was like 85 degrees yesterday. I was hot. I actually had to change clothes. I had to come out my sweatpants and long sleeve shirt and put on. I ended up putting on some shorts and a short sleeve shirt. So yeah. So that was my week last week, and it was okay. My overall numbers for my week was okay. I pretty much hit my minimum, what I want to do minimum, which is, minimum every week. I want to clear 4,000, 4,000 for the, take home to the truck. So I did that. That will allow me to at least have a decent 7 weeks. So that's cool. The week before, since I didn't do a video about my trips the week before, I got in 4 loads, and it was my highest grossing week to date. I hit over just a little bit over 7,500 to the truck, so 7,500 gross. So that's by far my best grossing week. But we plan to top that. But so far, yeah, that was a great week. A couple of things I want to touch on. As I was talking to one of my homeboys, he decided he wanted to go up in the Midwest, chasing that money. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Except when it's a snowstorm coming through, then it is something wrong with it, at least to me, because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to chase money into a snowstorm. I'm going to tell you why. It's not the snow. That I don't mind the snow. It's the ice. and the low temperature, below freezing temps that make the ice. As I was talking to him on the phone, like he was on I-70, sliding through Missouri, and he was literally sliding. And he was telling me all these trucks he sees. This truck's in a ditch. He had to slam on brakes because the truck in front of him slammed on brakes, and he looking in his mirror, and he thought the dude behind him was going to slide into him. Yeah, I'm not putting myself in that situation, bro. That's unnecessary risk, in my opinion. That's just unnecessary risk. Now, I'm like, this load that I'm getting ready to go pick up, which is in South Carolina, it's going up to Ohio. But the difference being that, I check all weather before I book a load, especially if I know I'm going to somewhere where it's going to snow. So, this upcoming week is going to be temperatures in the 40s and 50s, and I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? They'll probably have snow on the ground or snow on the grass, but for the most part, it's going to be melting snow. And I'm only going to be traveling in daytime because you still got to watch, they still going to have temperatures below freezing at night. So I'm not going to be traveling at night, because I don't want to hit no black ice. That's a fly in here, man. Oh, God. Flies love that warm weather. I had my windows down yesterday and enjoying that 80-something degree weather. Fly flew in here. But anyway, so I definitely check the weather reports before I book my loads going into cold places. So, you can go slow all you want. He told me they end up shutting the highway down, so they had state troopers out getting the trucks and stuff, getting the trucks off the highways because they shut the highway down to truckers. So he spent the night at a truck stop. And then he left out the next morning, and he was able to drop the load that he had, but on his way back to pick up his next load, they ended up shutting it down again. So, and he had to cancel, they had to cancel the load that he was on. So, you just gotta be aware, no knock to the, truckers who do that, who go through the winter or whatever. But for me, that's not me. Because he ended up losing money because they had to cancel his load because of the weather. So the money he had pre-planned for the week, he only had got one of 3 loads that he was supposed to get. So yeah, my plan for the winter was simple. I was gonna stay down south and pretty much keep running east. I've been up to Pennsylvania once, but when I went, it was no snow. And I haven't, and when I shot to Ohio last week, I was able to get in and out before it snowed. So, you can go get the money, but, for me, I'm going to get the money when I know the roads are pretty clear. It can be cold, but I don't mind the cold. Because when I was in Ohio, it was like 10 degrees. So, it was cold. But my winter plan is working out just fine for me. So, just wanted to touch on that situation because I don't believe in putting myself in unnecessary situations where there's a greater chance that I'm gonna lose money instead of make money. So, teach his own. The other topic I'm gonna touch on is I was sitting here, you see my previous videos, I was talking about, it would be nice if I could leave USA, okay, and go somewhere else. Now, I've always said you can make money here. That holds to be true. You can make money here. You can. The issue is the consistency of what you can make. And I just know for a fact that you can make better money and more consistent money somewhere else. Looking at the load boards that I've seen and then compare them to our load board. So that's what I've been thinking about. But now here's the issue with trying to leave USA. For me to leave USA, I got to do two things. One of two things. I either got to turn in the truck I'm in and get another truck where I'm going, or I can take this truck with me. I just got to pay close to like $13,000 total for me to be able to take this truck with me to go to another company. Yeah, I don't want to pay $13,000. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? I can do better things with $13,000 than try to pay to get it to go somewhere else. Now, I can, like, especially if I had it, you know, but even if I save it up, I still want to just spend my money somewhere else. So that would lead the option of, well, calling another leasing place and see, you know, how much they would charge and everything. So I did. I called SFI. For you that don't know what SFI is, that's Snyder Financial, and I don't know what the I is, but it's Snyder Financial. And I talked to the lady, and she was like, you know, I'll put you on a wait list. And she was like, you know, she asked me, well, when was your time frame about, you know, sliding up out of there? And I was like, for me, it wasn't gonna be quick. I was like, you know, I'm thinking about the summertime. And she was like, yeah, that's good. She was like, that's a good time frame, but for us, we got a 6 to 9 month backlog. 6 to 9 month backlog because they're not getting trucks in like that. So, and you know, I had somebody ask me, well, what's the issue? You know, they're not getting trucks in like that. What's the issue? And it's not with just them. It's with all the leasing companies and all the mega carriers who do CDL and they give you a truck. Everybody is having a trucking shortage due to COVID. And, you know, a lot of, you know, and then, you know, some people out there be like, well, damn, you know, we're well into COVID now. But what happened is COVID threw everything off. When COVID hit, it shut down everything. Now, it shut down the manufacturing of trucks, and it shut down the manufacturing of everything, you know, steel, metal, all of that. So, it hasn't recovered yet. So now, if you're looking to go somewhere, and even the people who want to come on board with like USA, now I got my truck, I lease my truck to what it's called TEL, Transport Enterprise Leasing. They have totally stopped taking new people because they don't have the trucks available to put anybody in. So they just said, you know, hey, well, we're not taking anybody else. Because they don't even have a wait list. They just said, you know what, we get more trucks in, we'll open it back up. So, and that's the position people are in now, is that nobody has equipment. Nobody has the trucks to give out. So, even if I wanted to go that route, it would be a year. The lady from SFI told me to call her back in. She was like, yeah, call me back in like May. So I don't know if I'm gonna call her back or not. So my third option that I'm thinking about doing is getting my authority. Now I get my authority. What I will probably do is go to the power only side of USA. I heard that they don't have the issues that we have or that we complain about on the 65% side. You know, I gotta talk to a couple more drivers, but the person I talked to said, hey man, I make decent money. I'm able to negotiate some of my loads. I'm good. You know, so yeah, I'm really thinking hard about that. And I said if I do that, then I probably want to get my authority maybe by the end of the summer. So, you know, that would be my time frame to get my own authority. And then people would be like, well, if you get your own authority, why don't you just run under your own authority? I can, and eventually I will. But when you have a new authority, brokers don't like to deal with people who have their new authority. Even if you've been driving for a long time, you know, when you have your authority now, you know, they look at you as a more of a risk, you know, because you haven't built up any reputation as far as, you know, getting loads to where they need to be on time and things of that nature. So by running up under USA power only side and having my own authority, that would let my authority age until, you know, 6 months to a year, and then I would probably have no issues working with a lot of the brokers that I need to work with. But I'm probably gonna, if I do that, then I will probably run just until my truck is paid off. And then once I pay my truck off, then I can just run under my authority, because then I wouldn't have the truck payment hanging over my head. So that's my idea. That's what I'm leaning towards. And yeah, that's where I'm sitting at. But until that time, yo, I'm still going to, you know, just make my money. Like I said, this year is the goal is 6-figure take home. That's it, 6-figure take home. That is the goal for this year. And I started out the year pretty good, so I think I'm well on my way to accomplishing that. So anyway, that is my update for the week. Hope y'all have a good weekend. You know, Valentine's Day coming up next weekend, so, you know, hope y'all get treated. Hope y'all treat these ladies out here who deserve it to a nice Valentine's Day. All right, talk to y'all next time.